Now, two guys who should have chosen different careers. Here are the voices of the Condors, Ryan Holt and Kevin Bartle.
Good afternoon, Condorstown. Welcome inside the Dignity Health Studios inside the Bakersfield, California. Thanks for spending your lunch hour with us. Just two radio guys, lucky to be collecting a paycheck. Ryan Holt, Kevin Bartle to my right, and for the first time ever, I'm outdressing Kevin Bartle on Condors Unleashed.
You look good. There's no Troy Mann, though.
No.
And I think it's the best you've ever looked for the show, and here the coach is not going to even be here to commend you for it.
Here was my dilemma this morning. All my shirts are wrinkled, and I had to shave my face, so I can only do one thing this morning and get in the office in time, and that was it.
Well, you look good for the audience.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy. I also got a haircut last week, too, as well. So this is as dapper as I've looked for it Unleashed. We've got the phones going.
I wasn't going to bring up the haircut. But anyways.
Got me right in my brain.
I nailed you.
All right, well, Troy Mann, as Bartle alluded to, is not here. Why is Troy Mann not here? Well, it's not because it's the ECHL trade deadline tomorrow. He's reading to his child's school, Larissa, and her class. What's that?
I've never sneezed on live TV before. I wanted to get your attention.
Did I have to do anything?
No.
Was I mistaken?
I mean, you could bless me.
All right, anyways, Troy is reading to his daughter's school, along with a couple of other Condors, today. And Bartle is completely going off script. But anyways, Troy Mann reading, so he will not be here. But Condors assistant coach Ryan Murphy is here, and that means no mushrooms on the pizza today because Ryan Murphy does not eat mushrooms, and he demanded it.
Did you put the order in?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good. I don't eat mushrooms either. Why don't I get a special request?
Yeah. We normally hear from Murph on Condors Insider on Thursdays on Fox Sports Radio 970, but we get to hear from him here on Condors Unleashed, and he'll break down some Alaska pre-scout from Sunday, and the pre-scout work parts because the Condors won.
Yeah, it was a big win for the guys. You don't want to. You got 3-3 up in Alaska. You kind of don't want to save your one win on the weekend for the last game of that 3-game series. That's what the Condors did, though. It was very dramatic. A come-from-behind win as well in the third period, which doesn't happen too often, especially against the top team in the league. So, all in all, I think you got to be happy to leave there with some 2 points.
And we've got the phone open as well. It's an iPhone, not a BlackBerry, so my apologies to Bob McKenzie and Aaron Ward up in Canada, but we're checking the wire just to make sure our sources, if any trades come through,
if
anything comes through, it's coming here
ECHL
first.
trade deadline is tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a couple seconds.
We will, but already we've seen some activity, so you never know when something might come down the line.
My sources haven't told me anything yet. I've got nothing.
Great. In that case, we might as well go.
Well, we gotta introduce our other guests too. We gotta get through the show here. It's gonna be a great show, Barts. Our second guest is Rusty Aldridge, Condors equipment manager, working his 1,000th game this weekend. No player this year, this show, but we'll have Rusty Aldridge on, and Rusty's a character in and of himself.
Well, I'm not really sure how that segment's going to go. He's a little bit of a loose cannon.
We may need the censor button.
We may need the delay.
Do we have a delay? Oh, no, we're on the internet. They can do anything on the internet.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, you can do anything on the internet.
We're good.
And then our last segment, of course, is For the Record. We'll make some picks, and it's her weekend this weekend, this Saturday, Dancing Granny Bobble Hip Night, and Dancing Granny, Phyllis Hanson's going to come on and make some picks.
She's going to come on. She's going to make some picks. She's going to make us look bad with her moves. And Holty is going to dance on the show. You heard it here first.
Debatable.
He's going to. It's on the script.
Still no trades.
Dances.
Still no trades. So we got to go into the ESPN Trade Center desk here.
Well, let's go to Holty's headlines. That was my overly non-emphatic introduction for Holty's headlines.
How about this? We brought scripts and they're off camera. All right, first up, Holty's headline. Number one, of course, is always the recap. Condors knocking off the Alaska Aces 3-2 in a shootout up in Anchorage. And Condors, I thought, played well enough to get 2 games up in Anchorage. We'll settle for 1 in the shootout. And you have some highlights to show you exactly how the Condors did just that. Courtesy of the Alaska Aces and their broadcast network. But the Aces would jump out to a 2-0 lead in this hockey game. Alex Belzile, his first as an ace, beating Laurent Brossoit from the high slot. But after that, the Aces did not get much. They would get a power play goal in the second period from the top of the slot and Brad Richard, as that one deflected on the way by off a body past Brossoit. But the Condors certainly had their opportunities 5-on-5 in this hockey game. I thought they played absolutely a sound road game, and you see Brendan Connolly going to the front of the net. We'll talk about him in just a second, but the Aces up 2-0 after one, and you thought the Condors might have been dead to rights in this hockey game. They killed off 2 power plays right after this Richard goal, and that gave the Condors life, I thought, heading into the second period. And we've seen, Barts, anytime you leave the Condors in a hockey game, they're going to find a way to battle back, and that's exactly what they did.
Well, they just come at you. You know, this team has been used to it. They've been in every type of situation imaginable here this season. They're not easily dissuaded.
And I think this is one of the keys to the Condors' comeback. Andrew Carroll dropping the mitts. Wanted to have Carroll on the show today, but he's off reading to children as well. So the Condors are all around the community today reading to students. And the Condors would get on the board in the second period after a power play effort was stalled by the Aces. The Condors get a kickback to the point after a couple of nice saves from Laurent Brossois, who ended up stopping 36 shots on 38 attempts.
Yeah, LB was certainly a key in that game, and great effort out of him after he gives up 2 early ones to shut the door the rest of the way.
And here's the goal, Greg Miller from Ryan Watson, then he'll kick it back to the point, and there's Bergdorfer stepping into one. It was tipped in front by Andrew Carroll. You don't see that on the camera, but Carroll ended up finishing with a goal, a fight, and they don't show it in the highlights, but he also had a shootout goal as well. It turned out to be the shootout game winner. The Condors then, in the third period, watch this pass from Colin Bowman. Are you kidding me? All the way length of the ice. Garlitz, who's playing forward, took the initial effort. Coleman tried to showboat a little bit, lost the puck, and Garlitz banged in the rebound. The Condors tied it at 2, ended up winning in a shootout. That was an 8-round shootout, Bart, in which the Condors, they haven't had success in shootouts this season. Now just 2 and 3 in shootouts. And they ended up trailing 1-0 in the shootout, and you thought, well, hopefully the Condors can get at least 1 out of this. But as Troy Mann said after the game, they didn't think they were going to get 2 in the shootout.
Well, it's all about the goaltender, and obviously you like your chances whenever LB's in net. I think they've gotten good goaltending in shootouts this season. The big key for the Condors has been goal scoring when they get into the skills competition. But nonetheless, hey, and again, LB, I believe he gave up 1. He stopped 7.
Yeah. It was a great night for the Condors, really a team effort, and we'll talk with Ryan Murphy a little bit more about this, but after the second period in which the Condors trailed 2-1 going into the third, and you see Dancing Granny bobble hipping her way across camera, but when the Condors trailed to 2-1 going into the third, there was never a belief in the locker room that the Condors weren't coming back in this hockey game, and they certainly proved that in the third period. They ended up tying it early, and then off to the shootout and overtime it went. And there's Dancing Granny again. Can't wait for Dancing Granny to come on the show. I'm looking forward to it. So the Condors pick up 2 points in Alaska. Don't lose any ground in the standings as well. All right, Holty's headline number 2. Who's coming to town also this weekend? It's not just Dancing Granny's weekend. The Superstars are in town. Bartle's favorite entertainment act.
Your favorite.
My favorite for sure.
They're awesome.
Yeah, they're awesome. Will Gretzky won't be in attendance. You see him in his last appearance here at Condorstown along with LeBronco James and Nomar Garcia Parrott. But Peyton Manatee, LeBronco James making returns. My favorite, Bobby Orangutan, of course, the Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Will be in attendance. But Will Gretzky's undergoing a minor operation, so he won't be in Condorstown. But still plenty of reason to come out on Friday night as the Condors host Superstars Night. They'll perform during the first and the second intermission. You may also see them during the game as well. And they're a blast. Who's your favorite Superstar, Barts?
It's a good question. I've seen so many of them. I like Ken Giraffe Jr.
It's a good one.
Because he's very tall.
Yeah. I like Shark McGuire. He's coming out on Friday.
Shark McGuire is expected to be here.
Yeah.
I also like Clammy Sosa.
Clammy Sosa. Bobby Orangutan supposedly is the mischievous one.
Yeah,
on
he's
this trip.
pretty good. Bobby Orangutan.
Squidney Crosby is always in the mix of something.
I don't know how to say this politely, so I'm just going to. For Bobby Orangutan, you have to watch his butt.
Yes.
I don't know how else to say it, but you need to watch his butt.
Yeah, his backside, as we would say on Play-by-Play.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This is the internet. We could say whatever we want.
We can say whatever we want, apparently.
Watch his
And we're going
butt.
to put that to the test here in our next segment with Rusty Aldridge coming up a little bit later in the show. All right, also coming up next week, 2 for Tuesday. And why is Carl's Jr.'s logo up there?
Why is Carl's Jr.'s logo up there?
Because it's Carl's Jr. 2 for Tuesday. Right now, go to Carl's Jr. Well, don't go right now.
Wait till the show's
break
over.
now and then go really get your lunch at 1 o'clock after
big
the
lines
show's
at
done.
noon.
Yep. Head to Carl's Jr., pick up a value meal. When you get your value meal, ask them. They'll give it to you anyways. Murph's here. Ask them, though. Say, hey, I want that Condors 2-for-1 ticket. They'll give you a coupon. It's a 2-for-1 ticket, and you can bring it to the game on Tuesday. This Tuesday or the following Tuesday, the Condors have a home game.
It's 2-for-1 tickets?
2-for-1 tickets, and there's also a Carl's Jr. coupon there on the thing. So you get a Condors coupon, a Carl's Jr. coupon, and you're eating a value meal. And it's for the 2 Tuesdays remaining in March.
Like those $6 burgers.
Yeah. Actually, we should have had Carl's Jr. for lunch.
I know.
If we weren't having Griff's, probably would have had Carl's Jr.
I don't know about you, but I have yet to see the Mountain Mike's pizza.
Yep. We may have to send Murph out to get Carl's Jr. for us.
I don't know.
Griff said there's definitely pizza coming, and he wasn't
did?
putting mushrooms on because Ryan Murphy was coming.
Great. We should have Murph on every week.
Murph on every week. All right, moving on. Our fourth Holty's headline, the ECHL trade deadline. Let's check. Nope, nothing. This isn't as exciting as the NHL trade
It's not quite
deadline.
as exciting, no. There's no TSN trade tracker.
No, there's no trade. There's nothing.
Yeah. But it is key. The Condors over the years have been active at the trade deadline. Most teams are at least looking. I mean, it's your last real chance to improve by adding somebody from another team. Obviously, our situation in this league is a little different than the NHL. You can still go out and get young players, rookies who are wrapping up their college careers or whatever. But this is your last chance to take someone off your roster, move them to somebody, and get someone in.
And here's the reason why I think the trade deadline isn't as active as it is in the NHL. As you see, by the way, the AHL trade deadline just came and went. So the AHL has their trade deadline, again, not as active as the NHL deadline, because in the ECHL, it's not a situation of where you have a bad contract, where you have to move somebody in the last year of their contract.
Right.
Everyone's on one-year contracts, so it's basically like fantasy football. When you have the good players, you don't want to get rid of them. And when you have the bad players, you want to trade your team for the good players. So that's basically what the ECHL trade deadline is all about.
It's not always like that. The Condors
like
over the years have made a lot of trades. And honestly, in this league, sometimes you have to give up good players as well in order to get something that you need.
You have to give the 2-for-1
Right.
trade.
Right.
That's basically what happens.
Right.
You have to give up 2 to get 1.
And everybody out there is looking for a defenseman. Right?
Everyone wants a defense.
Everyone wants a defenseman.
Everyone's looking. But the ECHL trade deadline tomorrow at 12. Stay tuned to Twitter. That's where you'll find the latest updates. Condors.tv will have reaction. BakersfieldCondors.com. If there are any Condors trades, you'll be the first to know, Condorstown. Check it out. All right. Moving on to our last Holty's headline. And this one just turned into Holty's headline part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Brutal.
Jordan Knackstedt, folks, is back in Bakersfield. Happy for that. He's going to be in a Condors sweater next week. Who was just recalled to the Abbotsford Heat?
Who was just recalled to the Abbotsford Heat? Ryan Holt, the affiliate of the AHL affiliate of the Alaska Aces.
A man by the name of Brendan Conley.
Oh, that's weird.
That's weird because Brendan Conley played 3 games against the Condors this weekend. Jordan Knackstedt did not play any games against the Aces this weekend. Conley is now up in Abbotsford. Knackstedt is now down back with Bakersfield.
It's weird.
I'll let you draw your own assumptions. If we have the Twilight music, we can play that as well. But, yeah. Knackstedt up. Conley stays.
Connolly scores, by the way.
Conley scores twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal. No, there's no conspiracy there. Brendan Conley, mind you, under AHL contract.
Hey, good player.
He's on a 2-way. Didn't go up.
Jordan Knackstedt.
Not
good
on
player.
a 2-way.
Good player.
Not on their affiliate.
Certainly deserving.
Deserving. Nothing against Knackstedt. He fought up there. But that's the world in which we live. I'll let you draw your own assumptions. I'm just presenting the facts, folks. And, of course, the Condors Craft Beer Festival coming up on Friday, March 28th.
What is this, a 6 Holty's headline?
Yeah, get your tickets online. I want to
love
leave
it.
that one in. The Craft
I
Beer
love
Festival.
it. Craft Beer Fest. Can't wait.
Looking forward to
Poolside.
that. Check out BakersfieldCondors.com for more information. All right, up next, we'll be joined by Condors assistant coach Ryan Murphy. It's all on Condors Unleashed, live from the Dignity Health Studios inside the Bakersfield, California. Stay tuned.